Guys, Monday. On my way to work this morning, it was 19 below, and they were saying negative 36 with the wind chill. First of all, I don't know how they come up with these numbers. You know, the wind isn't blowing all the time, but 19 below, that did suck. So, what are we going to look at today? We're looking at Twisted Pines Hoppy Boy IPA, and they are out of Boulder, Colorado. So, maybe that's not hops that are in here. There you go. It's got pine tree on the cover, or on the cap. I do not see a please recycle this bottle, government, blah, blah, blah. It does not have an alcohol percent. What is wrong with these companies? Alcohol percent, IBU, and an expiration date, or a born on date. You can figure it out yourself, because some things like this, you want to go fresh, like Heffy, and other things like the Imperial Stouts, you want to, if you can, use some willpower and wait it out. This is from Jim, and Jim has sent an opener, so we're going to use it. Not this time around. One of my favorites though, the flash hider off of an AR platform. I should double check, make sure it's not twist off. Okay. Unlike that one not too long ago, no, this one's kind of, well, we got a little action going on right here. We're getting ahead. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, baby. That right there is a cold beer. Hey, I could have used the glass. The glass that he sent. No, I did put it in the freezer though. Okay, well, plenty of carbonation, nothing special. Cloudy, slight amber orange to it. And I've also, you know, how many times have I used this glass? I also learned that 12 ounces is just a tad bit more than 350 milliliters. Okay. Kind of smells like caramel candy. Doesn't really smell too hoppy or citrusy. Yeah, it just kind of has the candy, like candy kind of smell. Not like, you know, that kind of candy. You know, it's like a, same thing, I guess, really, once you think about it. Okay. Cheers to the weird smelling beer. You know, weird in a good way. Like Jim. Just kidding. Sound still works on your shit. Now, if that was Jeremy, Pre-Dawn, or even Ed, probably beating on the computer going, you know, you just want to people and just act like something like with their stuff, you know. Okay, so if I didn't know that this was a India Pale Ale, in the business we refer to that as an IPA. If I didn't know that was an IPA, I would probably go an IPA or some kind of an ale. I mean, because ales are still going to have your citrus. It's just may not be as big of a citrus punch. So you get this almost like slightly carbonated water feel at the beginning. Like there's no citrus hit, no real carbonation, just like a watery like it. And then you notice this weird kind of almost like a combination of citrus and caramel. And the citrus, if I had to, I mean, it's not really even strong enough to try to nail it down, but I would say it's on the grapefruit side, not on the pine, like a twisted pine or anything like that. Like they wrung out a pine tree, 'cause, it's, I mean, sort of what they're showing there. Like, see that? They just wrung out a Christmas tree and they dumped it right in the bottle. No, it's nothing like that. So then you get this. Now it's like a fleeting thing, like that dream as you're waking, going, I remember it. I don't remember a damn thing. That there's this almost buttery bread, but it's just like, ooh, that's gonna be good. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's gone. And then the last thing you're left is kind of a floral, citrus finish. Yet all these effects and flavors are very light. I mean, if you're picking out any intensity at all, it's kind of the carbonation. I mean, it might be a carbonation and citrus, but if it is, that takes off so fast that I think more or less what you're getting is just bubbles. A little bit of a dryness, dry bitter, light on flavor. In a way, if this said Hoppy Boy Light IPA, that would have been a lot closer to what I'm kind of expecting, right? Would have expected to be it right about now. If I saw this and it was a 6-pack for $1.50, would I ever buy it again? I guess it depends on what else they had there at the store. I mean, am I going to continue in the ever-loving Jim has absolute last place in the category of who has sent the shittiest beer ever? Jim, is he in fear of losing that crown or staying ensconced in that crown with this? No, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not skunky. It doesn't have bad taste. It's just what it has is kind of light, kind of. I mean, maybe this might be a good one if you're hop curious. If you're kind of wondering what these IPAs are all about, I recommend that you maybe look for this and give it a try. Now it does kind of as I'm sitting here in between drinks, it does kind of end on kind of a dry, bitter note of the citrus, as opposed to smooth and just had gone away. And I mean, you can get rid of that aftertaste by just having more. And then there's a little bit of time before it redevelops. But now it's just, some of them just have a really dry, bitter finish, and this one is again like a light version of that. And that would be about the only thing that I would say if you're hop curious. That might be the thing to stick away from it, but the rest of it, it's not intense on any of the rest of those flavors in comparison to other IPAs. On the E scale, I would probably I'd probably shoot this like a 4.5, just because I don't know how many of those I've had. You know, it wasn't a 4 and it wasn't a 5, so 4.5 for Hoppy Boy. You were not happy at all. Boulder, Colorado. Okay, and what should we look at tomorrow? What else should we even talk about? Weekend. Didn't stay too active in the weekend stuff. You know, they had the girl party on Saturday. Tried to get a bunch of women drunk, and you know, doing martinis, even the girly ones. You just, you know, up the amount of alcohol you give them. But no, just kidding. On the other hand, you know, all of them had a ride if they needed it, and I think what is it? What's 3 drinks? 3 drinks over 5 hours. Yeah, we want to make sure all the girls come back. So, but like always, the invitation is, you know, we'll get you home, which wasn't going to be me because I definitely drank a lot more than they did. And but that's why we have Samantha, so she can drive people home. Yeah, the offer always stands. Get you a ride. I mean, I'll pay for a taxi as opposed to worrying about that. Otherwise, we have a spare bedroom. So that was Saturday. Yesterday, yeah, it was pretty much it. I mean, other than getting the milling done on the AR-15 gift. Yeah, it was pretty much a do-nothing day. It would have been nice. It'd been nice to get out and shoot. My brother-in-law stopped over. He picked himself up. What is it? The M4, the 308, and he seemed like a 2-year-old discussing that, which is good. So tomorrow, Tuesday, supposed to be another day like today. You know, here's the scary thing. Today actually had one of the worst negative numbers for the low for the day, but the rest of the week all had lower numbers for the high than we had today. Today was a high of 19, and we're not even supposed to get anywhere near that tomorrow. We'll see. Tomorrow, why don't we look at something from NIHAP? Yingling's Black and Tan. I've had a bunch of stuff from Yingling, and I honestly am not sure if we've looked at this, but if we had, you know, stay for the rant, because I'm sure there will be one. I'll try to drink heavily before the brew review. What can I tell you about this? Dark brewed porter and premium beer. I know we've had this discussion, but if you ever get something where you're like, this is pretty damn good, but I don't like this about it, try mixing a couple of beers. Personally, as much as I like the high res, well, love the high res, and love the Bengali, I actually find a very interesting version of pouring 50-50 and experiment. But, you know, that's not really a black and tan, because black and tan is supposed to be something dark and something light. But, you know, it's like you know, it's like your own little world. You know, if you want to pour a little bit of this and pour a little bit of that, you know, like Bob Ross and his painting. It's your own little beer world. You do what you want. So I do. I experiment, and that's where the black and tans come from. Let's see. Yingling puts a alcohol percentage on this. Nope. I cannot get Yingling up here. They're kind of, I don't know, for say, you know, how I would compare them. They're kind of more in the southern states, kind of like a Samuel Adams, but not. So let's take a look at this tomorrow. I still have the other one that you sent. I guess I could cheat and actually look at my own reviews and see if I've done this or not. Who cares, really? Other than that, what was I thinking about? I'm thinking that we actually did a review on this already, but this is something that Ed had already sent. The American Beauty. It's a ale brewed with almond honey granola and all-American hops, and I'm thinking about having that right now. Which, there you go. It's official. I'm having that right now. Yeah, we just took a look at this not too long ago. Wow, for a non-dark beer, this one's pouring out. I better recheck a few of the settings on this fridge. This is, we're in the zone right now that Paul over at PA Brew News would, if he was here, would probably say head or gut. I'd be like, what? You know, he would be pissed off because he doesn't refrigerate any of his beers, which there's several of us that would probably strap him up and whip him too, because there's some beers that, I'm sorry, Paul, I cannot do warm no matter what the beer says on some of them. Granted, cellar temperature, I will give you that there's been a few things that the flavors just popped, and right now he's just going, but something like this, no, just about to the point where ice cubes self. Okay, a fire combust, what would ice forming be? What is a dramatic instant ice forming? I don't know. Yeah. Dogfish Head though, man. They just know how to make shit there. Tell you, if they twisted some shit out of a pine, that would taste piney. Okay, but either way, thanks, Jim. Sorry, man. Your own beer didn't topple you for the worst shit ever. It was drinkable. It was just, for what I like in an IPA, it was just a little bit too on the mild side. And Ed, thanks for that. So tomorrow we'll look at the Yingling, and you know, what else can I say? NASCAR is up and going, and the Bush family definitely isn't having a good time. Let's see, one of them has probably a season-ending broken leg, and the other one is suspended indefinitely for beating his wife up. Not that I think it is okay for you to beat up your wife. My own personal feeling is, if you hit a woman, I would love to hit you, because I think those people have I think you got some kind of an emotional problem, bordering on maybe some violent issues, and yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. You never ever hit a woman. You probably shouldn't ever hit someone else unless you have a really good reason. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies. Did you kill people? Only the really bad ones. Yeah. But, having said that, I realize everybody now, thanks to 40 years of failed liberalism, is all squishy and feely. And is it really NASCAR's place to permanently say he can't work because he did this? You know, it's kind of like what's been going on with the football players, even right here in Minnesota. You know, and then all of a sudden you don't have a job anymore. It's kind of a gray area for me, because I feel profoundly about the violence part, but on the other hand, you know, I don't know about NASCAR. You know, let's go right, let's go. Well, that's right, we don't get to go right, we only can go left. Maybe that's why they're so bitter, except for the Road America, of course. But, you know, football, you know, I know I've heard this excuse before. We expect these guys to hit people on the playing field every Sunday, but they have to be able to keep it in control the rest of the week. I don't know. Doesn't seem like too much to ask. So, okay, well, that was kind of weird. That was like my politics instead of just politics in general. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly got mixed feelings on that. In some ways, I don't think your employer has the right to make the call that some of them have. Like I said. On the other hand, there's a side of me that it's just like, you know, screw him. If he's such a pansy that he's hitting his wife, then maybe he doesn't deserve to make the money that he's making going left. I don't know. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Take a look at Black and Tan from Yingling. And again, thank you, Jim, for the review. And thank you, Ed, for the follow-up. And if there is a tomorrow, we will see you guys then.